All right, welcome back, everybody. It's me from the future. We're here to talk about Ethereum and the upcoming Shanghai Hard fork. There's a lot of negative news about the Shanghai Hard fork, or at least theorizing that perhaps when the Shanghai Hard fork is implemented, it will cause kind of a waterfall of selling, mostly to do with unlocking staked Ethereum. Current holders cannot sell. Is the price going to just stabilize here after the Shanghai Hard fork, or is the price going to blast off and continue up? Or we could continue down in a waterfall matched with some negative news, because that tends to happen. So maybe negative CPI data, maybe something happens with crypto being banned, who knows? Let's take a look really quick at where the price could go. We're always looking at the midterm and the macro view of Ethereum. We have the 200-week moving average, the simple moving average in the blue. That's where the price tends to fall back to. It's more like the mean price. We also have the 50-week moving average, which came down and pushed the price down temporarily, but we've now broken well above it. We look pretty good at this point. If anything, we come back down, we might even find it as support, that 50-week simple moving average. And then finally, the 100-week simple moving average, which is, in my opinion, a target if we do go bullish and continue up. At some point over the next couple of months, we could find ourselves up there to test that as resistance. So we've got our Bollinger Bands still looking very bullish and very healthy, because we are in the upper range here on the 1-week chart of the Bollinger Bands. In a bearish time frame, we're always below at the bottom range, and in a bullish time frame, we're always above. So at this point, we're above, just like we were during the bull run, above. So let's take a look at some trend lines. Right, so there's a lot going on as always. I've got the this purple triangle here, which represents more of the short to midterm price and where it can go. And we are finding ourselves bouncing around in here. We've already had 2 touch points on the upper resistance of this upper trend line. So we're surely to find ourselves coming back down, in my opinion. Now, if there's some type of bullish news with Shanghai, we can find ourselves breaking through. Okay, so we have some targets if there is bullish news over a fairly short period of time, weeks. We could find ourselves at like a 2200 and change. We could also continue moving on to like a 2400. Now, I will zoom back out a little bit to demonstrate why that 2400 number is a probability. There's a wonderful macro triangle here. So upper range, if we're bullish, we really could find ourselves somewhere in this 22 to 2400 range. The bearish scenario, of course, we could find ourselves at the bottom, which is quite likely, and I'll even draw that. But again, we have this area here, which I think is the most probable for the short to midterm. Okay, that could occur over the next few weeks into even into June. We could finally touch this area, because we want to look at what happened in the past. This movement here was from August 22nd to roughly November 22nd. So that's a couple of months of movement, and we could find something similar here, a month and a half, maybe even 2 months into July. That's when we might finally hit here. And why do I say that? So we've got, see this angle of momentum? This is a channel right here of this momentum, something like that. That's the channel. So if I move that and extrapolate this over, the momentum of this channel would likely repeat and do something like this. So that's why I say to find a bottom of this range is a month and a half to 2 months away. Now, what happens after we kind of bounce up through here and then find our way down? Our next level of support is way down here on this blue lower trend line here in the blue triangle. So if we found ourselves breaking through, we would likely come back down to this macro blue triangle support. And that is in that $900 range. Okay, just want to make sure that that's clear to everybody. That's very probable that we at some point break out, come down to touch this triangle. This is our range of bearish possibilities. Again, $1,380, $900. While we're still in this bear market, we still do have this lower support. This is a historical lower support where we found ourselves all through 2016, 2017, COVID low. So for a long-term support, we're looking at somewhere down in the $300 range, okay? And please take this with a grain of salt. This is just the way the market moves. It may seem insane, but over a year's time, over 12 months' time, when the bear market has finally bottomed, this is where the price could land. Now, I'm not saying it will, because I think it's a little bit more likely that we end up at more 900 as our bottom, okay? Because we already hit 888 once, right? That was our initial move down. We bounced. We're going to find our way maybe even through this purple triangle here, and then finally coming back down to hit that 900 and double test again. But again, if there's really bad news in the crypto space or whatever it might be, we could fall back and go further all the way down to that 300 range. Probabilities, okay? Understand probabilities. So that's our 3-point range area. Big, huge ranges, but this is over a long period of time. So fractals are what play into this, right? These are repeating fractals. We see these fractals over and over and over in stocks and crypto. And typically a stock or a crypto asset is going to perform in a similar fashion over and over. We'll see this like a fractal shape like this, and it will repeat over and over, whether it be a small version, a medium-sized version, a large version. Now, what I want to point out here is this, and I'll make it quick. Okay. So notice the trajectory here before we finally bottomed out, way down there, at somewhere around $100 for Ethereum back in 2017, 2018, finally towards the end of 2018 was where we bottomed out. I want you to understand that that is a fractal and that it repeats. We did it again, a small baby version in 2019. Now here we are present day, and guess what? We're in the same fractal, okay? Is it going to repeat exactly? No, but it's going to rhyme. And what I'm proposing is that we need to resolve this bear market. Where will it resolve? Nobody knows, but we can estimate. Well, let's just do a really quick scenario. Okay, we come down, we hit that target that we talked about, we bounce up, we come back down, we find support, we move along, okay? And then we finally make our way to the bull market. That's one way. And then here is the second scenario. We come back down, we do something similar, we come up, we find resistance, we break through the triangle, maybe we come back one more time, hit this area here, find some kind of support, we get really weak, and then we completely come back down to the bottom. Where does this fall? Spring, summer of 2024? That leaves us plenty of time to find our way back to the next bull run. It's not so unrealistic when you look at these past fractals to see something like this, right? Let's turn all the noise off. I'm going to remind you of this fractal, this baby fractal here. This is a very similar, hauntingly similar fractal. I mean, you can go as far as even counting the little peaks before the actual bull run starts. We've got 1, 2, and then a small third one. Then we've got 1, 2, and a small third one, right? There's lots of similarities when you look at things like this. But again, where is the trajectory of this bear market? And what do we do before we finally resolve, right? It takes a while, but we need to come down and find that floor again. Will we stay at the bottom of the floor for a long period of time like we did in the previous bull market? Maybe not. Maybe we just touch it and again, find our way back up to the next bull run in Q4 2025. All right, so that sums it up for Ethereum. That's all I've got for today. Let that information sink in. Again, we're looking at the midterm and the macro view of Ethereum. Don't think we're going to be going down to $800 or $900 overnight, which, you know, we've done that in the past. But either way, I am a Ethereum bull. Read my lips. I'm an Ethereum bull. The point is here, though, is that we are in a bear market. We're going to follow these fractal trajectories, and that's just the way it is. So if you want to really maximize your investment on Ethereum, then you want to kind of look at these things and make this as a consideration for yourself. In the meantime, thank you very much. Remember to always buy low, sell high and never sell at a loss. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you.